Hi. Do you take a picture of that because you agree or because you disagree? What? Huh? Sure, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But if you take a picture, you have to give me one reason that is not selfish to create a new person.
Okay.
Think about it.
So I mostly agree with you anyway, so it's hard for me to come up with a reason.
It's hard for anyone. It's hard for anyone.
So if I had to take this position, I'd say, well, I mean, if no one procreates, we will, as a species, will die.
Right. This is not the goal, but this is the outcome. This is the. If everyone would agree, eventually the human species will cease to exist. But I'm sorry that I will reply with a question, but try to tell me what's wrong with that. Seriously, I know it sounds like a provocative question, but I'm totally serious. What's wrong with human extinction? People don't think about it, but because look, I will help you a little bit. I will give you a little push, and then you will take the lead. If there will be no more people anymore, there will also will be no more people who will miss the people, or all human phenomena, even if you think it's positive, never mind if you think it's negative or positive. In any case, there will be no more humans who will miss it. So I don't see it as a bad thing. For example, if tomorrow all humans at once, kind of in a push of a button, turn on a switch, all humans will cease to exist, I don't think that it's a tragedy.
Yeah, okay. After that, there's obviously no one left to think that it's a tragedy.
Yeah, and no one will miss the human race.
I mean, it's quite unlikely that we will cease to exist in one instance of time. So
I know. It's not a thought experiment. I agree.
Yeah.
It's a little bit unfair.
There's a transition time where there are people who miss people.
Right.
I mean, that's happening all
I
the
agree.
time.
But it's a different scenario. We're talking, in principle, what's wrong with the human race ceasing to exist? What's wrong with the human species going extinct? Theoretically, I totally agree, and it's a fair counter-argument that it will not happen at once. Just a thought experiment to kind of,
to be fair, it
pinpoint
also not happened due to what you are proposing.
Yeah, right. But think about it. There is nothing wrong with the fact that there will be no more humans. In fact, I can think of a few good things. For example, I don't know about you, I dislike wars. And I don't like exploitation, I don't like racism, and I don't like animal torture. And these are all human phenomena.
Yeah, okay,
and they will disappear, so that's great.
Yeah, but everything that's great about living also will disappear. So.
Right, but no one will miss it. That's the thing. If we go back to the switch, to the theoretical switch, no one will miss all the good things in life. And I don't disagree that there are good parts in life. However, no one will be deprived of them if no one will be created. And that's what we are talking about. We are talking about procreation, about creating new people, not about killing anyone. It's not a suicide cult, and it's not. We don't think that it's good to kill people.
Yeah,
absolutely not. Just not create new people.
I was just going the way of saying, yeah, okay, if you really, you prompted me to say some reason to not to actually have children, and there would be a reason. If you want to have humans, then you need to produce humans.
Yeah. Technically, I agree.
But there is obviously, I don't see anything wrong with saying, okay, overpopulation is a problem. Not having less humans would be
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this is not what we are about. However, yeah, I totally agree. Obviously, if I think that every case of creating a new person is morally wrong because it's necessarily selfish, as this sign says, and because we are causing a lot of suffering to other humans and to other non-human animals and to other sentient beings, and we are always taking a risk on someone else's welfare, on someone else's life, and we are always forcing someone to die at some point and to suffer from death anxiety, which means that people will suffer from the fact that they know that they will die, and that is even worse. They will know that other people will die, and that is something that they will have to carry on from a very early age to the last day on Earth. So I think this is a tragedy. In any case, to your point, there are good things in life, but no one will be deprived of them. So in my view, we are not harming anyone by not creating them. because they never are these them. Yeah, exactly. And we may harm people who will be miserable. Not to mention all the harm that humans are causing to others. So there is kind of an asymmetry between the creation of happy people and the creation of miserable people in an ethical sense. We are not wronging anyone if not creating someone, even if that someone will be happy, and we are wronging someone if that someone will be miserable.
Okay.
If you want it more practical, if you will create 100 people and 99 of them will be happy, and only one will be miserable, and you decide not to create all the 100, you are not depriving anyone of the 99 people who will be happy of anything. But if you will decide to create all the 100, yeah, you created 99 people who will be happy, but you created one miserable person, and you can prevent this misery of that one person without taking anything, without depriving anything from all the 99. So I see no reason why to take that risk that will create someone miserable. And in that case, we are certainly creating someone miserable in that specific scenario. So
yeah, okay. I mean, probably parents argue that they do everything for their children to be happy.
Sure.
And obviously, no one is aiming to be this one.
Of course.
People.
Yeah, of course.
Even if I don't think that that's the correct percentage.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter.
Right. Of course. It's just that parents cannot be in real and full control of all the things that may happen to their child.
It's obviously very unrealistic expectations.
Exactly. And I think that's the reason not to do it. Because we can't guarantee that our child will be happy. It's impossible. But we can guarantee that the child will be harmed by at least some things in life, because the world is dangerous and violent, and that this child will die at some point and will be afraid, have a fear of death, will have death anxiety, as I mentioned earlier. That is that child will die, and that his parents will die, and people he loves or she loves will die. That we can guarantee. We can guarantee that that person will have a worthwhile life, or that person will be satisfied or happy that he was created, but we can guarantee that at least some harms will cause to that child. And we certainly can guarantee that this child will cause harms to others, just by sustaining themselves, because people harm toll is quite high everywhere in the world.
If you take this to an extreme, wouldn't that also mean that it would be a good idea to stop animals from procreating?
Well, I think that there is a lot of suffering in nature. Nature is very brutal and violent, and I wish I could stop at least some species from procreating, if not all of them. I just can't, because I can't make science for animals. It's technically impossible. Otherwise, well, they are suffering as well, and their life are very brutal.
It sounds like the nuclear option would be the ideal solution to this.
Yeah, but the nuclear option will kill people, and this is a whole different story.
Okay.
Our point is not to create them in the first place, so we not have to kill them, so to prevent them from being harmed. So it's a different story. We're not pro-death, no, not at all. Not pro-death, not pro-abortion necessarily. I mean, suicide. I'm pro-choice, but this is regardless of the anti-natalism issue. So, yeah.
Yeah, but like from an outside perspective, your view on things looks very much like it comes from a point of not enjoying life.
My personally? No, not necessarily. My life was really okay. I'm really fine. I haven't suffered from, I don't know, depression or not that there is anything wrong with that, or not that wouldn't make a valid point. You know what? In a way, people who suffering or have suffered from depression and are talking about not creating new people are kind of making a very strong point, because they are saying it can happen to you like it happened to me. It can happen to your child. I'm depressed. I'm miserable, you know. But this is not my case anyway. I'm being honest, and my life is fine, and it's not personal. I care about the misery of others, non-human animals, animals, and animal animals and humans, animals in nature, animals exploited by humans, whatever, any sentient being. So It's not from a personal perspective. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a moral stand.
I mean, what? It's not my personal belief or like core idea, but someone might argue with you and say, yeah, okay. Don't you think that suffering itself is something that nature created?
Yeah, but it's not necessarily good. Not everything that nature creates is good. The fact that something is natural doesn't make it ethical or desirable. This is usually called a logical fallacy called appeal to nature, which means that we are kind of extracting, deriving values from natural facts. But natural facts are not ethical values. Our ethical values are coming from different places. What is natural has something to do with that, but it's not a criteria. I don't want to be provocative, but it's natural to rape and to murder and infanticide is natural. But we condemn all of these. We think that they are ethically wrong. So not everything that is natural is right or.
Sure, but all of those things happen in nature, and there is no way to prevent that. I mean, even if we nuke the Earth at some point in a few million years, life will re-emerge and then everything.
No, not necessarily. At least not necessarily sentient life, but yeah.
You cannot ensure that it won't happen.
Right. I agree. But you know what? This is this is a risk.
Obviously, we cannot because we don't even know if there is another planet doing this exact same.
Right. We should work. We should derive our ethical perceptions from what we know, or what you think we know. If you want to be more skeptic, and what we know is.
I mean, if you achieve your end goal of saying, okay, no human procreates, then we will know nothing because we will cease to exist.
We will know nothing. You said.
But now we will know nothing because there is no we. So
right, but I don't think that the purpose in life or that it's important to know things in an ethical sense. In an ethical sense, what is important is well-being of sentient beings. That they will not suffer, they will not be miserable, they will not be in pain, and that they will have positive experiences and positive welfare. I don't think that knowledge is a goal. Knowledge is a tool. Is something that we sometimes need in order to improve our lives in an ethical sense, in order to strive and satisfy our desires. It's not something that is important in itself, right? It's a tool. Intelligence is a tool. Knowledge is a tool. In an ethical sense.
People might disagree with that.
No, from an ethical perspective, in the sense of what is wrong and what is right, what we should strive at and what we should avoid. And we should avoid negative experiences and we should strive to positive experiences. And knowledge is a tool that helps us to strive to achieve, to satisfy desires. Yeah, so I don't think it's... And again, you know what? Let's go back, to the human extinction issue.
Okay.
Yeah, if we will not have knowledge, like knowledge as a notion. Knowledge is not a moral entity, it's a notion, it's a term. If there will be no knowledge because there will be no people, there will also be no people who will miss this knowledge or will need this knowledge. So again, it's
sure, but
it's a kind of redundant.
It's sort of boils down to being okay. This notion of human extinction kind of solves all issues because the idea of issues will cease to exist because no one knows about it.
Yeah, so. Right. Again, it's not a goal, but it's an outcome that I don't think it's negative. I think in many senses it's even positive, but not a goal. In any case.
I mean, we both agree that this is very unlikely to occur, that every person will...
unless more and more people will agree with me and will agree with antinatalism.
I mean, interestingly enough, I think more and more people think that way.
Yeah.
And
it's becoming more common among young people.
Yeah.
I guess in many senses because of the climate crisis. They are afraid that they will create a person that they don't know what kind of life they will conduct, even in supposedly safer areas, because extreme weather events will happen all over the globe. And so many people are saying, I want to be responsible. I don't want to put my child in harm's place.
Yeah, I mean, also happened during the Cold War, where people said,
Right.
well, I don't know if there will be nuclear war when my child is on this planet.
Right.
So, yeah.
There was a birth strike movement during the Cold War and during World War II, but and now there is it's rising up again, birth strike, because of the climate crisis. Again, they're saying we don't want to create more children in this world that we don't have any idea what kind of life they will have to endure. So it's a strong motive.
But you're not really in the pro-life or pro-choice. This is not the issue. It's mostly creating a human.
Yeah. But even though it's a great motive.
So that would mean you are pro like what's it called?
Choice?
Perceptive.
Oh, sorry.
Anti-perceptives? No.
Anti-perceptives. I'm not sure what you mean.
Like condoms and...
No, of course I'm in favor of contraception. Yeah, of course, contraceptions are great. They can make people make love, not babies. Yeah, contraceptions are... Yeah, they're saving lives.
I would very much disagree if you said, okay, don't have sex. So.
No, why? There's no reason. It's a positive experience that people are enjoying.
Would be very weird because you already said your overall goal is to maximize human enjoyment.
Right. Yeah, no. We don't have problem with sex as long as it's safe and there is also consent and contraception.
But
enjoy yourself.
But there's one thing. It's like you always have like no form of contraception is 100% safe, right?
Right.
So in a way, you also risk creating another human.
Right.
Like, or creating a fetus, depending on what you believe is a human, but whatever. So in a way, there is a small percentage of saying a small risk of creating another human, and a small percentage of that human actually suffering.
Right.
So wouldn't that also mean that having sex itself is immoral because you...
I don't think so, because the percentages, the success percentages, if this is the right term in English, are very, very high, especially if you are doing vasectomy. Or a tube procedure for women. So the percentages are very, very high. And we have to be more responsible. I mean, you can do the double or nothing, or whatever method you can think of. So I think that this is a little bit more on the social and political, even economic side of the issue. That vasectomy should be subsidized everywhere as a law, which means every man can have a vasectomy if they want to. They just have to apply to the doctor and that's it. They have to approve. And again, that it will be subsidized by the state. Everyone wins in that case. So, and this is another thing that we have to fight for. It's not exactly in the same area as antinatalism, but it's a technically important social and political part of it. Okay. Let's say so. And then the percentages are very, very high.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. People who had a vasectomy told me that their sex life have improved by, I don't know, multiply, because they feel so free and they are relaxed.
You don't get a pregnancy scare every, I don't know how many years.
Exactly. So
that sounds very nice to not have.
Exactly.
Okay, it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, too.
Can I make a picture?
Sure. Thank you.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you for coming to talk.